Unity, excellence, and compassion.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. On your Monday morning, good morning to you, and thanks so much for being with us as we get set to go with the boys. They're here. Information presented on this program is believed to be factual and up to date, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. Discussions and answers to questions do not involve the rendering of personalized investment advice, but are limited to the dissemination of general information. A professional advisor should be consulted before implementing any of the options presented. Encompass More Asset Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC and only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC does not imply a certain level of skill or training. And the guys are here. Galen Bargerstock, Clinton Smith.
Good morning.
Let's get in with them.
GCES.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you both with us here today. It is tax time for folks. They're gathering up their information. They're putting all their things, getting them out of the shoe boxes and putting them into the envelopes and sending them off to their tax preparers or trying to do it themselves. I don't know that means that you guys are any busier, but you probably have a few things that people should be thinking about, right, when it comes to tax time and savings for retirement?
Yep. I mean, technically, we do not give out tax advice. Do you know what I mean? That's we recommend CPAs. We have CPAs that we recommend to people, but there are a lot of things that really tie in with tax time. The biggest off of my mind would really be thinking about the year before. You know, you're gonna have to think about it before now, but making sure that you're maxing out how much you can put away each year, and that's really going to help your taxes.
Yeah, just what Clinton said, maxing out your 401k. So, I'm very realistic when it comes to, what people do with their tax return. A lot of times it's buying stuff that you need. It's not really things for retirement. But one of the things that I would say that I would recommend would be to pay down some debt, maybe a credit card, and then up your amount that you're contributing to your 401k or some kind of savings plan.
For a lot of folks, they're going to say, man, you see the economy, gas went up 13 cents last week.
Exactly.
Can I do something like that? It's a time when people are kind of frightful, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, also too, people are frightful, but it's really also making sure your taxes are correct the way that you're claiming. We run into so many people that are in their 50s that are still claiming single on their taxes that are actually married. So by doing that, because you get, you start working there, you're working there for 25 years, you get married, you never think about it in the meantime, but making sure that you're claiming correctly, because a lot of people will want to pay in more because they want that big check back at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But instead of giving that money to the IRS to hold all year to give it back to you, it makes a lot more sense that you claim your taxes correctly, put as little into the tax man, and take the rest of that money and put it into your 401k, where you can make money off yourself for the year, which granted, you're not going to get the big tax return check, but you're putting that money back into your pocket and into your retirement. And that will then grow more than what you're actually getting from the tax man.
Why invest it for the government when you can invest it for yourself?
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's this time of year is when everybody's thinking taxes. But whenever you sit down with us, we're kind of prepping you, whatever month it is, to think about how the future is going to happen to you as it comes along. So it's not a rush around once you have a plan.
Yeah. All right. So when we're thinking of taxes and we're thinking about looking down the road at retirement, is there a substantial difference in the way that you're going to save if you're going 401k versus IRA?
Well, yeah, definitely, because you're allowed to feed more into a 401k. Like take the TSP, the government one. You can front in so much more money than you can in an IRA in the outside world. And, the way that you have it allocated inside of the 401k, you could make great amount of money, if you're playing the market. It really is based on age, but I'm more along the lines of max out what you can do with your employer before you step to the outside world and try to invest. Even most employers are doing Roth IRAs now, You know, in a Roth IRA, of course, you're going to have the better tax advantage later in life when you pull it out, but you're also going to pay tax on that money now. So,
yeah. For a lot of folks, that decision is really difficult because maybe they're right on the edge of bumping up into the next bracket. And if they are, then obviously they want to really examine how they approach that and caution moving forward, right?
Yeah. If you're right on that edge, I mean, obviously putting more money into your investments is going to keep you from hitting that higher tax bracket. Also, something a lot of people don't take into consideration, the limit right now is $23,000 that you can put into your 401k. They just changed it. It went up $500 this year. So this year, now that we're in, you can put in $23,000. But also, if your employer is matching that money or whatever your employer is matching, that doesn't count against that. So you want to max out and put $23,000 in on your own. And if your employer's matching part of that, that's great. You're going to go even above and beyond that. And that's going to end up growing better than it would be if you just gave it to Uncle Sam for a whole year for him to hold on to.
Yeah. So people are looking and thinking about their finances now, probably in ways that for the rest of the year they aren't, just because it's in front of them right now. And
well, yeah, I mean, and like you said, gas prices, everything, the price of everything is raising. And that's why I say I'm realistic when it comes to what are you going to do with your refund. Most likely you are not going to invest in something new. You're going to pay down debt. That's what you should do. Or buy stuff that you need for yourself because you couldn't afford it without that big income coming in.
But for a lot of people, it's I'm going to buy something, but it isn't something I need.
Yeah.
It's something I want. But that's okay, too.
It is, yeah. I say take life and take finance and merge them together and, you know, create that happy medium.
Yeah. So folks, when they're thinking about their taxes right now, let's get them thinking a little bit about what happens when their working life is over and they're on to their leisure years, if you will. And that's where you guys come in.
Yeah. I mean, most likely your tax bracket is going to be lower when you retire. In the state of Pennsylvania, there's no state taxes on your retirement income. So there's things that, you know, it definitely merges in with taxes and finance. We just recommend you seek a tax professional, you know, just to make sure.
A lot of people are going to say, well, here comes retirement, and I'm finally getting to where I can quit this daily job that I've had for all these years, but I might need supplemental income. I know what I'll have coming in, and you'll help them understand what they have coming in terms of their Social Security and what they've done investment-wise. And so they say to themselves, well, I want to get another job just so I can stay busy and have a little extra income. Is it a tricky thing for them to approach that in terms of how much money they can make in retirement?
Yeah. I mean, usually pensions don't care how much money you're making. They don't care how much investments you're pulling. Social Security is the one that's going to limit how much money you're allowed to make at an outside employer. And it is just physically at that outside employer. So every year the threshold, it changes. This year it's $22,340. And if you go $1 over that, they're going to take back half, one for every two of what they gave you from Social Security. Once you've reached your standard retirement age, whether that be somewhere between 66 and 67, they moved it by age. Once you hit that standard age, you can make as much money as you want. Social Security doesn't care.
Okay. All right. So it's not the issue because people get afraid and they hear things and they say, well, the boogeyman's out there and he's reaching into my bank account. They get scared about it.
Yeah, inflation. And not only that, a lot of people, I think, also get bored. And then they're like, well, what do? I guess I should go get a job, you know? And a lot of people, it's just kind of for fun. So when we do work with people, though, if they have their investments, you can pay your taxes when you take money out of your investments when you're retired. So a lot of times we recommend people doing that and paying the taxes up front when you take big withdrawals. Because things do happen in retirement where all of a sudden people are like, I want to pay off my car. Let's pay off the house and adjust things once you actually get there. Because like everyone, you don't have a crystal ball to really see what it's going to be like until you're actually there.
Yeah. All right. So all of these things are considerations when you're thinking strategy about retirement, and now's the time to do that. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. Doesn't really matter where you are in terms of your work life either. You can begin saving when you're in your 20s for retirement, and if you've waited all of these years and you've never done anything, and now you're in your 50s or even your 60s, it really is incumbent upon you to do whatever you can to get something going, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think standard age is probably 40s when you start actually thinking about retirement and maybe, getting your act together. I mean, 30s, it's nice if you can think about it, but normal circumstances, that's when the kids are younger, you're moving around, you're busy, you're a lot. It just isn't on your mind yet.
Galen, you used a term earlier, and Clint, you can comment on this as well. Play the stock market. For a lot of people, it is. It's just playing around, but it's real money.
Yeah, it is.
And when you're playing with real money, there's real risk, isn't there?
Well, you can't rely on winning the lottery, obviously, anymore. We heard from this morning.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, 360 million thought he won. Wrong numbers were published, so you can't rely on winning the lottery either. Don't put that as your retirement plan that you're going to spend $10 every time you check out at the grocery store on scratch offs. There's a lot better things that you could be doing.
Yeah. And GCES is a good place to start.
Yeah.
Okay. So that being the case, what should folks be doing right now? Should they be gathering up every slip of paper they can find that has to do with their lifetime earnings? They have in the top of their closet 7 shoe boxes that they've been gathering papers in for the last 30 years.
I think the biggest thing that I would like to see people do is log on to Social Security Online and create their account. You can see all of your work history, how much money you've made, everything right on their website. Mm-hmm. And the government just isn't mailing them out. Social Security isn't mailing out statements to everybody. It's kind of sporadic when you get them. I believe it's age 60 you're going to start getting them. But anybody at any point can log on to SSA.gov, create their Social Security account online, and look at it daily. Mm-hmm. That would take a third of our appointment time down and make it fast.
Yeah. People get scared of that, too.
Yeah. It's really easy to log in, too. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so it's GCES. Folks want to get hooked up with you fellows. What should they do?
You can stop by our office at 1780 Philadelphia Street. We're closed today, so don't do it today. But we are open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. Stop into our office at 1780 Philadelphia Street. You can also give us a call at 724-915-0000 and talk to someone about scheduling an appointment.
There you go. Favorite president?
Abraham Lincoln. Try to not think.
George Washington.
You're going Washington and Lincoln.
Yeah.
Jeez, you guys. Man, you didn't put any thought into this at all, did you?
No, we were thinking this morning we could talk about the past 5 presidents, but depending on who's listening, make someone mad with every one of them.
Right?
Dead presidents is the way to go because when they go back in time, then memories get a little nicer.
Yeah.
By the way, Eisenhower was the best. There you go, fellas. Thanks so much. GCES, give them a call, make that appointment, and get started saving on your retirement right now. It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 8:25, CBS Sports next.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Tax Slayer. Start filing for